Midwest Box Truck. Still at it. Currently in Sandwich, Illinois. I'm on a 4-stop run of picking 3 drops out of Shanahan, Illinois. I went to Yorkville. Then after Yorkville, I went to Fox Valley. And after Fox Valley, had my final drop here in Sandwich, Illinois. So yeah, I got everything off the truck. I'm just kind of waiting around until somebody shows up. It's like a rainy Friday morning. It's like 4 a.m. And yeah, I just got done unload. So I'm just waiting around on them. And yeah, trying to keep everything going with all these crazy gas prices and so forth, rental rates, all of that. I don't think I touched on that with you guys, but my rental rate actually went up about 30 days ago. I was at $435 a week, 17 cents a mile. They moved me up to $470 a week, 20 cents a mile about 30 days ago. And I also have a mileage cap, which I chose. It was for 1,500 miles. And they gave me the option of having 2,000 miles, but it was going to be at a higher percent or a higher cent per mile. So it was going to be like 20 or 25 cents per mile. I'm not sure. But yeah, so if anybody's wondering about that, that's what I'm paying right now is $470 at 20 cents a mile. And that's still a decent rate in today's times with people paying in upwards of $1,000, you know, on top of mileage and, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm still happy with it. I am probably in the process of purchasing a new truck, or my own truck rather, because yeah, I just figure I'm gonna be in it. I'm here to stay, so it's no sense in me, you know, renting for, you know, 2-3 years when I can just, you know, finance or buy my own truck. I was looking at a truck that I was gonna buy straight out, but it was a manual, and I was willing to work around that. But then when I had a diesel mechanic actually look the truck over, from what he was telling me, the particular motor that was in it, I think it was an international, and it wasn't a DT 466, because he told me if I found one of those to get it. But this particular one, it was something similar to that, but a motor that he said had a lot of leak issues and different stuff. So I passed on that. But that truck was only, I believe, $7,500, and it was I think it was like a 95 or a 99, super clean. And yeah, I ended up passing on it. But yeah, I've been over the last week or so looking into like some equipment financing and different stuff like that. Just kind of, you know, looking to maybe going ahead and buying a truck. And I don't want to speak too soon, but I may have secured my first. Well, I've had contracts, you know, when I started out in my Sprinter van, I had a couple contracts, but in the box truck, you know, I believe I may have secured my first contract, and it's during the day. I spoke with the guy earlier today, you know, and it's kind of like I don't know, it's everything's happening at once. My 3-year anniversary on when I started my business is coming up in 2 days, the 29th this month. May 29th will make 3 years that I've been in business. So I'm coming up on the anniversary, and right before that, I spoke with a guy just earlier today, and pretty much he has 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. moving similar freight, you know, kind of like Amazon. It's palletized general freight, and it's all local. It's not going more than, I think he said 125 miles max. It's $300 whether my wheels move or not. So $300, and he's going to pretty much route the truck from wherever I'm at. So I don't have to worry about going anywhere as long as I clock in and am available at 7 a.m. It's $300 a day, no matter what happens. And then 25% of whatever they move on top of the 300. And he says his guys is making about 450 to 500 a day. So thinking maybe 2,000 or 2,500 a week doing that during the day. And I told him that I want to kind of run it myself starting out, and then maybe further down the line put a driver in place. But he said he doesn't want, us switching back and forth. He want to deal with the same person on a regular basis. So if I start out on my own and then bring a driver in, then that's what will happen. But he don't want us switching back and forth. So I kind of told him that was fine. And yeah, so I'm meeting with him tomorrow, and he actually didn't want to accept a rental truck. That was an issue that we ran into, and I kind of talked him down on that and told him, well, hey, I've had a total of about 8 days downtime with this truck since I've had it over the course of the last year, and that's a plus to the rentals. And, it's almost like a lease because, like I said, I've had it for a year, and I have no problem showing up every day, being courteous, getting the job done, representing, his company well. So pretty much he said he would work with me, and we're going to meet this morning in probably like 6 or 7 hours. At 11 a.m. I got to go meet him. And pretty much, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But hopefully I have a contract during the day and we'll still be running Amazon at night. I'm kind of, finally ironing out a lot of, I had a bunch of driver issues over the course of the winter into the spring. And yeah, I'm just now kind of ironing out a lot of those. I've kind of gotten the right people around me, to, support what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go with my business. Because yeah, it's crazy how, just having the right team makes a hell of a difference as far as, being able to scale your business. I started out, I know you guys remember, I had 2 trucks, starting the beginning of the year. I trained a driver from scratch that came from somewhere else here, was operating as an owner operator out of a Sprinter van. So came here, was trained from scratch, on the box truck. And literally we were 3 months in, and I'm still arguing with the driver over, how to ratchet a strap, how to bag the truck up to the dock, different stuff of that nature. So we were running into a bunch of issues, and it almost, put me in a bind as far as financially, because yeah, I rented a second truck thinking that the agreement was it was going to be 2 or 3 weeks once the driver got here that they would be trained. I would get a second truck, and I'm thinking they would be able to run that efficiently enough for me to then run the first truck. And then I also had a owner operator who brought on a third truck. So I was trying to juggle everything, and the second truck literally did nothing more than cost me money. I kept it a little over 30 days. And once I saw that the driver could not meet, and I'm just saying the truck needed to hit $3,000 a week, and we couldn't even get that together. So I ended up taking that truck back and said, well, hey, we'll just try to maximize one truck, still trying to work with the driver. That didn't even work. On top of coming here and not being able to operate a box truck, not being able to ratchet straps correctly without binding them up to where you can't get them loose, not being able to knock over skids at different post offices. And I'm talking about 2-3 months into training, I was still running into these issues. So yeah, I took the second truck back. We tried to maximize the first truck, and that still didn't work. The driver was trying to juggle 2 and 3 different jobs. I mean, DoorDash and Uber eating, doing a computer-based job during the daytime, and still, telling me that they wanted to make at least $1,000 a week. So I'm having issues a lot of days with even just getting in contact with the driver. So you got 1 week where you could barely find the driver, and then the next week they want to balls to the wall, make $1,000, $1,500 in 1 week. So it was a situation where the driver wanted to dictate when and where they wanted to make money, but when they wanted to make money, they really wanted to make money. It didn't work like that. So that situation, like I said, kept me tied up and stagnant a lot of the, winter into the beginning of this spring. And I'll be honest with you, I probably, between renting that truck, and not hitting the numbers that I should have been hitting once we got rid of that truck and got, into just the one truck, man, I probably lost 8 to 10 grand, messing with this particular driver. So finally, we parted ways, I want to say about 30 days ago. And since then, I've actually been able to get things back in motion, and making sense. Like this particular week, we've ran 7 days. This is the first day that I'm back in the truck, but I have a driver who she came in, and she's actually a female. First driver I had came in and literally could back the truck up, could drive the truck, could ratchet the straps, already was familiar with the Amazon relay process. So it made stuff so much more easier. I only had to spend a week total in the truck with the driver before I was actually able to, cut her loose and, kind of let her do her thing on her own. And if it's a new facility or something she's not familiar with, then I'll pop in and out with her. But I definitely am not having to spend months training one driver who, eventually in the end won't work out anyway. So, like I said, this particular week, my driver ran the last 3 days, and I'm in the truck tonight and will probably be in the truck tomorrow and trying to get into this new contract next week. I'm anxious to, just have that extra money coming into the business account, have 2 different contracts rolling at once. And like I said, having the right people in place. I actually have 2 drivers on board right now. One guy I'm kind of using, I'm teaching him the Amazon loading and unloading and scanning and how to be really efficient with the pallet jack and how to, move with that. So he's not actually driving the truck yet, but he's in training, and I'm able to train him, at a slower pace because I do have a solid driver that's actually in the truck. And yeah, now I'm way more rested, so I'm able to focus. I won't lie to you guys, I can't make none of this stuff up. Like, I spent at least 3 months where I wasn't in the truck, but I pretty much was still in the truck. I'm getting phone calls all throughout the night. It was just crazy, and like I said, this is a lesson to you guys. I'm not complaining, I'm grateful because it was a, learning experience. And, the way I'm handling my new drivers, is totally different. Another thing that I would tell all owner operators trying to scale and hire people into your business: set policies and procedures, have expectations, have, consequences for different, occurrences, that's going to, happen while you have someone operating your truck. You need to have that in place. You don't want people to come into your business and think it's a free for all, and I'm just being straight with you. On top of that, you'll come to realize that even with cleanliness and organization, you'll run into drivers who have a problem with that. They think you tripping. They think, you out of line because you're asking them to keep your straps and your pallet jacks and your chocks in a certain place or in a certain order. They think that, you asking too much to ask them to keep the cab or the truck clean, smelling fresh and, wiping different things down, being courteous to the next driver. So what I tell you is you definitely want to have policies and procedures in place, for your business before you ever put anybody into your truck. It just saves you so many problems. I mean, I just told you what I went through. And when the driver and me parted ways, I'm just going to be straight with you. The driver could whip a truck just as good as me. So I did my job, because we had an agreement that the driver was going to come here and be trained and eventually get into a position where they could make me some money. That never occurred. Like I said, I had a driver. You're bogging down at, $3,000, or running $3,000 worth of freight in a week, and you tired. I done ran almost $6,000 worth of freight, more than $6,000 worth of freight in 1 week, and I wasn't tired. I wanted more. So that's what I'm saying about the difference in, mentalities and, the quality of work ethic that you're going to get with different people. So, just what I'm going to warn you and tell you is be very selective on who you're allowing into your truck. Everybody want to get a break. We all, as business owners, once we make a little money, we want to go on vacation, be home, chill out with the family, But who you have in your truck is going to make a great difference in, how you're able to actually have home time and time away from the truck. Like I said, the wrong driver in your truck will make you feel like you're still driving it, and like I said, also, everybody has different thought processes towards different things. I am very picky about the way my truck is kept and different things like that. And that's something I learned, I can't be overreactive about, certain things that go on. It's just like when you see a person continues to make the same mistakes, or you see that a person is willfully, going against what you're asking them to do, then you don't argue with them, you don't go back and forth with them, you work on replacing them, and they'll see, hey, my time going from 5 to 3 to now I'm not, and that's how I'm moving now. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I'm not going to argue with you. Kids make mistakes, adults make decisions. Okay, so we're not going to keep going through the same thing over and over, with somebody who's well over 21 years old and can understand just as well as the next adult, what should or should not be done, and having to ask somebody to keep, put this in this particular place when you're done with it, leave this particular way, just repeating yourself and saying the same stuff over and over, it gets old. So with that being said, I know that was a long rant, but I just want to get that out there because it kind of unpacks where I'm at right now. I'm back to one truck. Okay, my owner operator, that's a whole nother story that I will have to tackle in another video, because like I said, I've been so busy and tied up, I just have not been making a bunch of content. But I'm back, You know, like I said, I got good people around me, a good support system now to where, you know, I'm able to get time, you know, to actually make these videos and, you know, make different moves that I want to make within my business. Like I said, 3 to 5 months, you know, I've been kind of just battling with these different issues and hoping and trying to get stuff in order. And, you know, finally now it's like the light at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, I'll be making a lot more content. You know, I'm gonna be kind of updating you and letting you guys know, you know, what's going on with the new contract once I kind of figure out more about that in the morning. And yeah, man, I'm just sticking with it. You know, like I always say, I'm here to stay. And, you know, this load here was 88 miles for, I believe, 400 and some odd dollars. It was like 480 a mile. Normally I wait later in the night to pick my loads, but this one, I didn't feel like, you know, playing around on a load board all night long. So I picked this, I believe, about 3 or 4 p.m. and luckily they didn't cancel. That's another reason why I don't like to pick loads earlier in the day. It's a greater chance that they're going to cancel it, you know, the earlier you pick them. So I kind of try not to, you know, pick my loads until later in the evening. But yeah, that's kind of what I got going on. And yeah, like I say, I'm just sticking with it, you know, battling these gas prices. And a lot of that is I'm trying to stay like 100 miles or less on the trips. If I do a longer trip, you know, I try to make sure that it pays over $5.50 a mile, you know, so that way you at least getting $2.75 each way, which that's not a whole lot, but it makes a lot more sense than, you know, $2 a mile, $3 a mile, and that's for both ways. So yeah, I'm trying to either keep the trip short or make sure they're paying, you know, in upwards of $5 a mile. And I'm doing pretty good with that right now. And yeah, we got Memorial Day weekend coming up. See how that's gonna work out. But yeah, we're 6 out of 7 days we've ran. So if the truck runs tonight, it's ran 7 days straight this week. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for, you know, 6 to 7 days. Like I said, I was having weeks where the truck was running 4 or 5 days between 2 people. So, you know, like I said, I got a lot of that sorted out. And I'm also, you know, on a couple load boards and working with a few Sprinter van owner operators and starting to dispatch them loads under my authority. So that's something new I got going on also. And I've been trying to work that over like the last 2 months that I've, you know, had the load board. And I got a guy out of Texas that I'm working with, you know, trying to get him loads, and also got a couple guys out of Illinois that I'm working with getting loads for. So that's something new for me, just learning the bid process and, you know, different stuff like that. Got my taxes all filed up. That went pretty well. And still doing a bunch of consultations. I got a couple new mentors, and yeah, I'm just keeping the wheels rolling, man. Just trying to see, you know, where this thing's gonna go. Cause yeah, everything's unpredictable right now, just with the gas, insurance, rental rates. You know, I think my Progressive insurance rate went up by like $200 a month, but I believe it's because they're not charging me as much of a down payment. My first month's down payment is only $1,500. So I'm guessing that's why I kind of went up a little bit on my monthly thereafter, because I think my first month's payment last year was like $2,100 or $2,300, but it was rolled in because I just rolled over the policy from my Sprinter van. But yeah, I believe the first month I paid like $2,100. So yeah, that's kind of what I got going on. I don't want to make this video too long, but I think that was a pretty good update on everything I have going on with me right now. And yeah, look forward to hearing from me here shortly in the near future, you know. And yeah, we just sticking with it, hanging in there, making it happen, man. But as usual, man, you guys stay safe out there. Take it easy and have a good one. Appreciate you.